The knife glinted under the fluorescent kitchen light of their Queen's Row house, not aimed at Alex but at the photo of him and Jamie grinning like idiots at their high school prom. Snip, snip, the scissors severed their linked arms in the picture, pieces fluttering to the linoleum like confetti from a funeral. "You're dead to me, you freak," Jamie snarled, his voice a venomous whisper that echoed louder than the city traffic outside, eyes wild with a hatred Alex had never seen brewing in his twin. In that split second, as the family album pages tore like flesh, Alex realized the brother he'd idolized had been plotting this erasure for months, ever since that stolen kiss behind the bleachers confirmed what Jamie had always suspected. Alex was gay, and that truth was a thief in their perfect American dream. Alex Harper stood frozen in the doorway, the weight of his backpack, stuffed with textbooks from his freshman year at NYU, slipping from his shoulder and thudding to the floor like a judge's gavel. The air in the cramped kitchen smelled of burnt toast and betrayal, the remnants of their morning routine now poisoned. Jamie, his identical twin, mirror image down to the freckles across their noses and the unruly mop of chestnut hair, didn't even look up from his destruction. Scissors in one hand, album in the other, he methodically dismantled every trace of their shared childhood. The snapshot from their 8th grade science fair, where they'd built a volcano that erupted red food coloring all over the gym floor. The Polaroid from their dad's fishing trip in the Adirondacks, both boys knee-deep in icy water, laughing as trout slipped through their fingers. "Jamie, what the hell?" Alex's voice cracked, a mix of shock and that familiar plea he'd honed over years of smoothing over their sibling spats. But this wasn't a spat. This was demolition. Jamie's head snapped up, his green eyes, those eyes that matched Alex's own, blazing with something feral. "What the hell? You're the one who brought this hell on us, Alex. Mom and Dad slaving away at the diner and the garage, building this life for us, and you go and kiss some guy like it's nothing, like it doesn't spit on everything they fought for." He flung the scissors across the counter. They skittered into the sink with a metallic clatter. "You're not my brother anymore. You're a goddamn embarrassment." The words landed like punches to the gut, each one forcing the air from Alex's lungs. He'd come out to Jamie just 2 weeks ago, in the dim glow of their shared bedroom, after a semester of dodging questions about why he never talked about girls. "I'm gay, man. It's who I am." He'd expected shock, maybe awkward hugs, but not this. A slow poison seeping into every conversation since, Jamie's jokes turning sharp, his silences loaded. Last night, over takeout pizza, Jamie had finally exploded during a phone call with their parents, who were wintering in Florida on a rare vacation. "Tell them yourself or I will," Jamie had hissed. Alex had begged him not to. Not yet. Not until he figured out how to say it without shattering their folks' immigrant pride, the Korean-American grit that had carried them from Seoul to Flushing in the 90s. But Jamie had told them, or rather weaponized it. Now, as Alex watched his twin stuff the mutilated photos into a trash bag, he saw the full scope. Not just memories, but the future. Jamie had been rifling through Alex's desk drawers earlier that week. Alex had caught him once, feigning a search for gum. Tuition checks from their parents, cashed and rerouted to Jamie's business venture. Some shady app startup he'd been hyping. The family savings bond, the one meant for Alex's art school dreams after NYU, vanished from the safety deposit box. Even the vintage guitar Dad had given Alex for his 16th birthday, the one with the scuffed neck from late-night strumming folk tunes, was gone. Pawned, probably, for Jamie's seed money. "You're stealing from me?" Alex whispered, stepping forward, his sneakers squeaking on the floor. "From us. This isn't you, Jamie. Talk to me." Jamie laughed, a bitter bark that echoed off the yellowed cabinets. "Stealing? I'm salvaging what's left. Mom cried on the phone last night. Alex. Dad looked like he'd been gutted. They built this house, this life, on the promise we'd be normal, doctors, lawyers, the whole immigrant success story. And you're the glitch, the one who'll drag us all down with your parades and whatever else you fags do." He zipped the trash bag shut, the sound final as a coffin lid. "I'm out, taking what's mine. You can rot here with your secrets." By dawn, Jamie was gone. The apartment, Technically their parents but home since high school. Felt hollow without the echo of his footsteps in the hall. Alex sat on the threadbare couch, scrolling through his nearly empty bank app. $247.13 left after rent. No guitar, no photos, no brother. Just the ghost of that kiss with Tyler, the barista from the campus coffee shop. A tentative brush of lips that had felt like sunlight breaking through Queens fog. Romantic, yeah, in that fleeting college kid way. But now, it was the spark that ignited the inferno. Weeks blurred into a survival haze. Alex dropped his design elective to pick up shifts at a Soho gallery, framing abstract oils for pretentious collectors who tipped in compliments. Nights, he crashed in the dorms with Tyler, their hookups evolving into something softer. Shared playlists of Bon Iver and late-night talks about dreams. Tyler, with his lanky frame and easy smile, was a Midwestern transplant studying theater, all wide-eyed optimism. Family's overrated, he'd say, tracing patterns on Alex's back as rain pattered the window. We make our own. Alex wanted to believe it, but the ache lingered, a bruise that deepened with every unanswered text to Jamie's number. Blocked, of course. Spring thawed the city, cherry blossoms dusting the paths of Central Park like pink confetti. Alex and Tyler picnicked there one April afternoon. Turkey sandwiches from the deli and a bottle of cheap rose. Tyler leaned in, lips brushing Alex's ear. I love you, you know that? The words hung sweet, uncomplicated. A balm on Alex's frayed edges. He pulled Tyler close, their kiss deepening under the dappled shade, the world narrowing to the warmth of his boyfriend's hand in his. For the first time since the scissors snip, Alex felt anchored, not to the past but to possibility. But roots run deep, twisted. A month later, a letter arrived, postmarked from Austin. Jamie's handwriting, scrawled and defiant. Don't contact me. I'm starting over. Real life, not your fantasy. Enclosed was a check, for $500, a pittance scraped from the stolen hoard. Use it to fix yourself. Alex tore it up, the pieces scattering like those photo scraps. He didn't need fixing, he needed time. Summer scorched the asphalt, and Alex threw himself into an internship at a Brooklyn ad agency, sketching logos that popped like fireworks. Tyler landed a role in an off-Broadway play, their evenings a whirlwind of rehearsals and rooftop beers. Romance bloomed in stolen moments. A weekend in the Hamptons, courtesy of Tyler's roommate's empty beach house, where they walked the shore at dusk, waves whispering promises. Marry me someday? Tyler joked one night, salt-tangled hair glowing in the firelight. Alex laughed, heart swelling. In a heartbeat. Yet shadows crept. Whispers from home. Dad's garage was struggling, Mom's shifts at the diner doubling. The stolen money, Jamie's venture had tanked. A crypto scam that swallowed their nest egg. Alex sent what he could, anonymous wire transfers, but guilt gnawed. Was this his fault? Had his truth fractured the family keystone? Fall painted the leaves crimson, and with it came the first crack in his new world. Tyler's play wrapped with rave reviews, but auditions pulled him west to LA. Then maybe more. It's temporary, he promised over FaceTime, his face pixelated but earnest. We'll make it work. Alex nodded, but doubt seeded. Distance tests love like fire tests gold. Then, the call came on a crisp October eve, as Alex sketched in his tiny studio apartment overlooking the East River. Unknown number, Texas area code. He answered, heart thudding inexplicably. Alex. Jamie's voice, ragged, stripped of bravado. Pause heavy as lead. I need help. The line crackled with static, or maybe it was just Alex's pulse roaring in his ears. Jamie, his phantom brother, the thief of memories and money, sounding not like the snarling destroyer from months ago, but a ghost unraveling at the seams. What do you want? Alex managed, voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. He gripped the phone tighter, the city lights blurring beyond the window into a kaleidoscope of regret. It's bad, man. Real bad. Jamie's words tumbled out, laced with a slur Alex hadn't heard since their dad's old war stories. Booze? Probably, or worse. The app folded. Investors ghosted. I I got mixed up with some guys down here. Bad debt. They're coming for me. A ragged breath, then quieter. I didn't know who else. Mom and Dad, they hate me now, too. For what I did. For lying about the money. Alex sank onto the edge of his bed. The sketchpad forgotten on the floor. Hate. The word echoed the kitchen fluorescent's harsh buzz. He'd imagined this moment 100 times. Confrontation. Catharsis. But not like this. Not with Jamie broken on the other end of a lifeline Alex wasn't sure he wanted to throw. You destroyed us, Jamie. Tore up our life like it was nothing. And now you need me? After blocking me. After that check like I was some charity case. Silence stretched, punctuated by Jamie's uneven exhales. I know. God, I know. I was scared, Alex. Scared of what you meant for me, for us. Growing up, it was always the Harper boys. Inseparable. But when you said it hit me. Like, if you're different, then what am I? Just the straight one holding the fort? Panicked. Turned it into anger. Stole to prove I was the strong one. A choked laugh. Stupid, right? Now I'm the weak link. Alex's throat tightened. He thought of Tyler, waiting downstairs at the corner bodega for their date night. Falafel wraps and a rom-com at the indie theater. Steady Tyler, who held him through nightmares of scissors and silence. But this was blood, twin blood, the other half of his reflection. Where are you exactly? Austin. Some dive motel off I-35. Room 214. But Alex, don't. I'm coming. The words escaped before reason could cage them. He hung up, grabbed his keys and texted Tyler. Family emergency. Back late. Love you. No details. Tyler deserved better than this mess spilling over. The red eye to Austin was a purgatory of turbulence and takeout coffee. Alex sketching furiously in his notebook to steady his nerves. Jagged lines of bridges burning, brothers embracing over chasms. He rented a beat-up Chevy at the airport. The Texas dawn breaking gold over scrubland that felt worlds from New York's concrete pulse. The motel was a faded stucco relic, palm trees drooping like weary sentinels. The parking lot littered with cigarette butts and regret. Room 214's door hung ajar, the chain dangling like a broken promise. Inside, Jamie sprawled on the sagging bed, gaunt and unshaven. A half-empty bottle of Jack on the nightstand. Bruises bloomed purple on his jaw, a split lip crusted with blood. He looked up, eyes hollowed by whatever demons he'd courted. You actually came. Alex dropped his duffel, the room shrinking around them. Yeah, don't make me regret it. He crossed to the mini-fridge, pulled out ice packs for the swelling. Instinct from their boyhood scraps. As he pressed one to Jamie's cheek, their eyes met, mirrors cracking but not yet shattered. Jamie winced but didn't pull away. They're loan sharks, Alex. From the startup crowd, shady VCs who fronted me cash for the app. When it bombed, they called in markers I couldn't pay. Last night, they roughed me up. Said next time it's not just warnings. His voice frayed. I thought Texas was a fresh start. Cowboy dreams, you know? But it's all smoke. Alex sat beside him, the mattress dipping under their weight. An echo of childhood forts built from couch cushions. Why didn't you come home? To Mom and Dad. Because I'm the villain now. The son who lied. Who gambled their savings on a pipe dream. Jamie's gaze dropped to his hands, knuckles scarred from the fight. And because of you, I outed you to them, twisted it like it was your fault I failed. They forgave you in their letters. Alex is brave, finding his path. But me? I'm the poison. The admission hung raw as an open wound. Alex felt the old anger flare, but beneath it, pity stirred. A humanistic ache for the boy who'd shared his womb, his secrets, his everything. You're not poison. You're just lost, like I was. Jamie snorted, but tears tracked through the grime on his face. Lost? You? Mr. Big City artist with the boyfriend and the loft. Loft? Try closet-sized walk-up. Alex managed a half-smile the first bridge. They talked then, haltingly, hours bleeding into afternoon, the story unspooling like a jammed reel. Jamie's descent, The app, a social network for real men, code for straight-laced bros, funded by Austin's tech boom but doomed by his inexperience. The thefts, rationalized as loans he'd repay. The homophobia, a shield against his own insecurities, fears that Alex's coming out highlighted Jamie's own vanilla life, the pressure of being the normal twin in their parents' eyes. By dusk, they'd mapped a plan. Pay off the sharks with Alex's emergency fund. Meager, but enough for a truce. Confront them together, Alex's calm to Jamie's fire. Then what? Jamie asked, voice small. I can't go back. You can. We can. Alex squeezed his shoulder. Start over. For real. That night, they drove to a taqueria, neon signs buzzing like fireflies. Tacos al pastor, shared like communion, the spice cutting through the heaviness. Jamie opened up about the loneliness, the hookups that meant nothing, the nights staring at the ceiling wondering if Alex was thriving without him. I miss you, bro. Every damn day. Alex nodded, throat thick. Missed you too. But trust? That's earned back. The meet with the sharks was in a warehouse district, moonless night amplifying the dread. 3 men in leather jackets, tattoos snaking like accusations. Jamie handed over the envelope, hands shaking. One sneered. Pretty boy brings his fairy godbrother? Alex stepped forward, voice steel. We're square. Touch him again, and it's not debt we collect. It's cops. They backed off, grumbling, the cash a peace offering. In the car after, adrenaline crashing, Jamie broke, sobs racking his frame as he clutched the wheel. Thank you for not letting me drown. Alex pulled him into a hug over the console, the dam bursting for both. We're Harpers. We don't drown, we swim. Back in New York 2 days later, reintegration was a minefield. Tyler met them at the airport, brow furrowed but arms open. This the prodigal asshole? He quipped, clapping Jamie on the back. Jamie flushed, mumbling apologies, but Tyler waved it off. Forgiveness his default, a trait Alex adored. Mom and Dad's reunion was tear-streaked, at the diner over kimchi jjigae. We love you both, Mom whispered, her hands calloused from years of plates and dreams deferred. Dad nodded, gruff. No more secrets. We're family, not perfect, but whole. Winter blanketed the city in hush, and healing took root. Jamie crashed on Alex's couch, job hunting at coffee shops, his charm rebounding. Alex and Tyler's love deepened. Thanksgiving at Tyler's folks in Ohio, snowshoeing through woods, whispers of futures intertwined. But cracks lingered. Jamie's nightmares, Alex's flinches at raised voices. One January night, as flurries danced outside, Jamie confessed over hot cocoa. I think I might like guys too. Or bi. Whatever. Watching you with Tyler, it's not jealousy. Envy. The words trembled, a second coming out, fragile as new ice. Alex hugged him fierce. Then we're in it together. No more stealing truths. Spring returned, verdant and forgiving. Alex's designs caught an agency's eye. A campaign for a queer youth center, billboards blooming across the boroughs. Tyler booked a national tour for his one-man show, but promised roots in New York. Jamie started therapy, dated tentatively, a barista with a poet's soul. Yet fate, that capricious director, had one more act. The call shattered the fragile peace like glass under heel. It was late May, the kind of humid New York evening where the skyline shimmered like a mirage, and Alex was sketching wedding vows in his notebook. Playful hypotheticals for Tyler, who was packing for a 3-month run of his show in Chicago. Something borrowed, something blue? Alex teased, tossing a balled-up sock at him. Tyler caught it, grinning, and pulled Alex into a kiss that tasted of mint and forever. Blue like your eyes, babe. We'll make it official when I get back. Jamie's voice on the line was a wire pulled taut. Alex, it's Dad. The words fragmented after that. Heart attack, garage collapse under a lifted Chevy, rush to Mount Sinai. He's stable, but bad. Get here. Alex dropped the phone, the room tilting. Tyler was there in an instant, arms a harbor. Go. I'll drive you. But Alex shook his head. Numb. Jamie's got it. He called first. The hospital was a sterile labyrinth, beeps and whispers weaving dread. Dad lay pale in the ICU, tubes snaking like accusations. Mom huddled beside him, her face a map of exhaustion. Jamie paced the hall, hollow-cheeked, the weight of his half-confession from months ago now buried under crisis. "It was quick," he said, voice flat. "The jack slipped. He was under the car, yelling for us to hurry with the parts." Jamie had been helping at the garage, penance in grease and wrenches, rebuilding trust one oil change at a time. Alex gripped his brother's shoulder, the touch electric. "He's a fighter, like us." Vigil stretched into dawn, coffee going cold in styrofoam cups. Mom recounted the morning. Dad whistling Sinatra as he tinkered, dreaming of retirement fishing trips. "He was proud of you boys," she said, eyes red-rimmed. Of Alex's art, Jamie's fresh start. Said it made the American dream real. Proud. The word pierced, a reminder of the theft's shadow. How Jamie's gamble had strained the business, forced longer hours. Guilt coiled in Alex's gut, irrational but insistent. If he'd come out sooner, softer, would the family fault lines have held? Surgery came at noon, a triple bypass that blurred into waiting room limbo. Tyler arrived with bagels and bear hugs, his presence a lifeline. "We're all in, man," he told Jamie, who managed a watery nod. In quiet moments, Tyler and Alex stole to the rooftop garden. City sprawl below like a heartbeat. "This doesn't break us," Tyler murmured, forehead to Alex's. "It bends us toward stronger." Dad pulled through, groggy but grinning in recovery, cracking jokes about trading my heart for a V8. Discharge brought them home to Queens, the row house a sanctuary of soups and sitcoms. But the real storm brewed in silences. Jamie's withdrawn gaze, the way he'd vanished to the garage at odd hours, returning reeking of smoke and regret. June swelled with Pride Month banners fluttering from lampposts, a celebration Alex once dreamed of parading through arm-in-arm with Tyler. Instead, he organized a small fundraiser for the Queer Center, silent auction of his sketches. Rainbow-hued hope on canvas. Jamie showed up, awkward in a button-down, donating a restored carburetor as a gag gift. "For the engine of change," he quipped, but his eyes held questions, the bicurious flicker from winter unresolved. One humid night, post-event buzz fading, the brothers sat on the stoop, fireflies winking in the dusk. Beers sweated in their hands, the neighborhood alive with salsa from open windows. "You ever think about telling Mom and Dad?" Alex ventured, casual as the breeze. "About you?" Jamie stared at the pavement, scuffing his sneaker. "Every day. But after what I did to you, outing you like a coward? Feels like I'd be twisting the knife again." He took a swig, Adam's apple bobbing. "And if they reject me too? I don't know if I bounce back." Alex leaned in, shoulder to shoulder, a twin ritual from playground days. "They loved us through worse. Through my phase, as Dad called it before he got it." "You're not a phase, Jamie. You're you. Messy, yeah, but real." The confession spilled then, in fits and starts. Jamie's college flirtations with a roommate, dismissed as bro stuff. The Austin hookups that blurred lines. A guy at a bar whose stubble-rough kiss lingered too long. "It's not all the time, but when it hits, it's like seeing you with Tyler. Free. I want that." Alex pulled him into a side hug. Fierce. "Then take it. I'll be your wingman." But freedom's price is vigilance. July's heat wave baked the city, tempers fraying like old asphalt. Tyler's texts from Chicago grew sparse. Rehearsal woes, investor schmoozing. Then, one evening, the bomb. "We need to talk. In person." Alex's stomach knotted. Betrayal's echo from Jamie's scissors. Tyler flew in, face drawn over diner coffee. "It's not cheating, Alex. But the distance. This life touring additions, it's pulling me. And you, with family stuff. We're drifting. Drifting." The word eviscerated. A slow bleed. They cried, clung, but the decision stuck. A break. Not a breakup. "Space to grow," Tyler said, kissing Alex's knuckles. "Not goodbye." Alone in the apartment, Alex shattered. A primal scream into pillows, sketches torn like memories. Jamie found him there, curled fetal, and without words, drew a bath, fetched whiskey. They sat on the fire escape after, stars smudged by humidity, Jamie's arm around him. Hearts heal, bro, slower than we'd like, but they do. August brought monsoons, washing the streets clean. Alex channeled pain into art, a series of mixed-media pieces on fractured bonds, exhibited in a Bushwick gallery. Critics called it visceral humanism, crowds murmuring approval. Jamie attended every night, his presence a quiet anchor, and one evening, introduced a date. Marcus, the poet barista, with warm brown eyes and verses that danced like jazz. Watching them, Jamie's tentative smile, Marcus's hand brushing his, stirred envy in Alex. Not bitter but bittersweet. Love's geometry. Gain one, lose another. Then the unthinkable. A frantic call from Mom, voice hysteria shredded. Jamie's gone. Took the car. Said he was heading to the bridge. The Williamsburg Bridge, that steel-veined artery over the East River, infamous for leaps into oblivion. Alex raced through rain-slick streets, wipers slashing like accusations. The bridge loomed, taillights blurring into halos. He spotted the Civic, parked crooked on the shoulder, door ajar. Jamie stood at the railing, wind whipping his jacket, face turned to the churning waters below. "Jamie!" Alex shouted, lungs burning as he sprinted, slipping on wet grates. His brother turned, eyes vacant storms. "Can't do it anymore, Alex. The debt's back, those sharks called in favors. Marcus, I told him everything and he bolted. Said I was too broken." Rain mingled with tears, Jamie's grip white-knuckled on the rail. "You fixed me once, but I'm poison. Always will be." Alex lunged, grabbing his wrist, pulling with every ounce of twin-forged strength. "You're not poison. You're my mirror. Flawed, yeah, but vital." Thunder cracked, lightning etching their faces in stark relief. "Dad's mending. Tyler's coming back, we talk, we fight for it. You outed me, stole from me, but you came back. That's redemption. Don't throw it now." Jamie wavered, the river roaring temptation. "What if I drag you down again? Then we climb together." Alex's voice broke, raw plea. "Please, for the Harper boys." The moment stretched eternal, wind howling dirge. Then, Jamie's hand unclenched, turning to clasp Alex's. They collapsed to the catwalk, sobs merging with downpour, brothers entwined against the abyss. Dawn broke merciful over the bridge, a hesitant sun gilding the river's rage into reluctant calm. Paramedics swarmed, courtesy of Alex's panicked 911. But Jamie waved them off, sodden and spent, allowing only a blanket and a stern psych eval referral. "I'm okay," he insisted to the EMT, but his eyes, meeting Alex's, whispered the lie. They drove home in silence, the Civic's heater blasting fog from the windows, the city awakening oblivious to near catastrophes. Mom enveloped them at the door, no questions, just chamomile tea and quilts. Dad, still bandaged but mobile, clapped Jamie's back with a gruff. "We Harpers are too stubborn to quit." The family huddled that morning, truths unfurling like fragile flags. Jamie's full coming out, by and battered but unbowed. The Sharks' renewed threats, a ledger Alex vowed to close with legal aid. "No more running," Mom decreed, her immigrant steel shining through tears. "We face it together." Healing's path wound crooked. Jamie checked into outpatient therapy, group sessions in a Chelsea center where stories of queer survival stitched communal scars. Marcus returned. An apology poem slipped under the door, verses of regret and resolve. "I panicked," he admitted over coffee, hand tentative on Jamie's. "But love's not clean. It's messy poetry." They rebuilt slow, walks in Prospect Park, readings at open mics where Jamie's voice cracked on lines about stolen selves. Alex, meanwhile, reached for Tyler. A letter, inked with vulnerability. Driftwood washes back to shore. "Come home." Tyler arrived mid-September, leaves turning amber sentinels, his hug a homecoming. "Missed your chaos." he murmured, and over candlelit pasta, they recommitted. Not with rings but reckonings. Therapy for us? Tyler proposed. Dates? Even when it's hard. Alex agreed, their love tempered now resilient alloy. The climax crested in October, autumn crisp as resolve. The shark surfaced, a midnight pounding on the row house door. 3 shadows demanding final payment, with knuckles cracked and eyes feral. Jamie froze in the kitchen, Alex stepping forward, phone recording live to a lawyer friend. We're done, Alex said, voice amplified by Dad's shotgun racked on the counter. A bluff, but thunderous. Cops are en route. Your debts, public record now. Walk or we all go down. Bluff held. They slunk into the night, tails between legs. Dawn brought warrants, courtesy of pieced-together evidence from Jamie's old emails. Justice, American style. Not vengeance, but vindication. Winter wove closure. Alex's exhibit toured, fractured mirrors, touching hearts from Brooklyn to Boston. Reviews hailing its profound humanism, a testament to love's redemptive arc. Sales funded the garage's revival, a pride flag subtly stitched into the awning. Jamie's birthday fell on a snow-dusted eve. The family gathered for bulgogi and board games. Marcus proposed a trip New Orleans for Mardi Gras, beads and brass for fresh starts. Jamie accepted, eyes alight, and pulled Alex aside. Sold the last of it, he whispered, pressing an envelope into his palm. Proceeds from the Civic traded for a Vespa. For you and Tyler. A down payment on that heartbeat you mentioned. Alex's throat closed. You didn't have to. Payback's a circle. Bro closes with grace. They embraced, twins true, scars silvered by time. Spring 2026 bloomed defiant. Cherry blossoms defiant against residual chill. Alex and Tyler exchanged vows in a civil ceremony at City Hall. Simple, profound. Rings etched with swim together. Jamie stood best man, Marcus beside him, their hands linked casual as breath. Mom and Dad beamed from the front row. Dad's whisper to Alex, proud doesn't cover it, son. You're my hero. The reception spilled into McCarran Park, picnic blankets and playlist anthems. Everything from K-pop to queer anthems. As dusk painted the sky lavender, Alex pulled Jamie for a dance. Awkward spins under string lights. Remember the bleachers? Alex teased. That kiss that started it all? Jamie laughed. Genuine, unshadowed. Yeah, best secret I ever kept, until I couldn't. His gaze softened. Thanks for saving me. From myself. Alex squeezed his hand. Ditto. We're even. The night deepened, stars pricking the velvet, and in that American tapestry. Immigrant grit, queer resilience, fraternal fire. The Harpers found their humanistic coda. Not flawless, not without ache, but whole. Betrayal's blade had carved deep, but forgiveness forged stronger sinew. Love, in all its forms, wasn't a thief. It was the quiet restitution, the sold all to save, the brotherly bond that outlasted tempests. Years later, Alex would sketch it all. A graphic novel titled Mirror Theft, pages turning betrayal to bomb. Jamie would read it aloud to his kids, Marcus's and his, voices mingling in bedtime cadence. Once, a brother stole everything because he feared the truth. But truth sets you free. And family, it buys it back, one heartbeat at a time. In the end, they swam, not drowned, together,